What's up guys, my name is Darren, welcome back to another video. Now, I want to preface this video by saying that I am an investor in Nvidia. I do believe in this company for the long term, especially with the way that technology is advancing in our world. But I am completely aware that there are a lot of people that question this company, especially questioning this potential $40 billion acquisition of another company called ARM. Now, I'm also completely aware that for the majority of you guys, Nvidia attempting to acquire ARM is old news. I'm pretty sure they announced it almost a year ago, but I want to use this video today to give you guys two of the biggest concerns that a lot of investors will have if Nvidia is actually successful with acquiring ARM. So concern number one is Nvidia would turn into a monopoly. Now, to understand that concern, you have to understand what Nvidia does and what ARM does. Now, Nvidia is a tech company that's primarily known for its GPUs or its graphics processing units, or as commonly known, their graphics cards. And their graphics cards are very popular in different applications such as PCs, laptops, and data centers. So that's their niche. But ARM, on the other hand, is a little bit broader. So ARM is known for providing the architecture behind computer chips and chipsets that they provide to a multitude of different technology companies, and they make their profits by charging each company a fee. Now, if this acquisition were to actually happen, then there are two things that would happen from it that support the concern that a lot of investors have. The first concern is that it would give Nvidia more verticals within their company. Best way I can explain what a vertical is it's basically industries within one giant company that company controls. And the best example I can give of that as far as a company is Apple, which is by far the biggest tech company, probably the biggest company in the entire world when it comes to market cap. And they have multiple industries within smartphones like their iPhones, within PCs and laptops like their MacBooks. They're even within the video streaming industry with Apple TV. Now back to Nvidia, which yet again primarily has a lot of popularity in PCs, laptops, and data centers. Now if they were to acquire a company like ARM, then they would be responsible for what ARM is responsible for, which is 95% of all smartphones and tablets within this entire world. And that's possible because the architecture behind ARM's chips and chipsets that they hand off to other companies doesn't actually generate as much heat and doesn't need as much power as other chips and chipsets from different companies. The second thing that would happen that would support this case of it being a monopoly is that it would give Nvidia the power to actually hand out architectures to different companies, just like ARM does. That alone would definitely create a major conflict of interest between Nvidia and all the other companies it competes with within its industry. And that leads me to the second major concern that investors would have if this acquisition would happen, which is the lack of competition within the industry. So as I said before, ARM is responsible for handing out their architecture to a multitude of companies, I think over hundreds of different companies. And those companies range from Apple, Samsung, Sony, Qualcomm, Huawei, Xiaomi, and of course, Nvidia. As a standalone company, ARM hands out what they call these neutral architectures for their chips and chipsets to every individual company that has a license with them. So basically every company starts off with the same type of architecture, and from there they adjust it and upgrade it, enhance it, and what sees fit for them and what they're trying to do, which gives them the opportunity to be as innovative as possible, yet again based off what they're trying to do. Now, if Nvidia is successful at acquiring ARM, then one of the fears is that they would use the inside information that ARM has to actually better their own chips and chipsets for their GPUs and whatever else they're working on. What's even more of a fear for a lot of investors along this lines is that they would use inside information that involves ARM and the other companies that they're licensing out their technology and their chips and chipsets for, which would give Nvidia the power to know what they're trying to do and actually do better than that, which of course would harm competition. Now, in my personal opinion, I doubt that Nvidia would do anything as ridiculous as any of the two concerns that we'd have, because I think it would defeat the purpose of the main reason of acquiring a company like ARM. But after reading all this, I completely understand why people are really concerned about this, yet again, $40 billion merger, which is, I believe, the largest semiconductor merger in history. And it makes sense that the FTC would sue to block the merger from happening itself. But if this acquisition does happen and there isn't any malintent, which I personally believe there wouldn't be, then I really think that this acquisition would benefit ARM way more than it would benefit Nvidia. It would give ARM the opportunity to reinvest the money they would gain from Nvidia back into itself, so it can be just as competitive, if not more, than other companies that it's being paralleled with, including AMD, which, by the way, AMD is a really powerful company when it comes to CPUs, and if the merger with Xilinx actually happens, this company could potentially blow up. But make sure you watch this video that goes into detail about that if you have no idea what that is. But speaking of videos, I appreciate you guys watching this one, and until next time, take care.